So, all right, a little history lesson. So my father was born in Louisiana, raised in Mississippi and in Memphis, and he was a good student. He played piano in church. He played guitar to the radio, and which in Memphis was seriously good radio. He grew up on rock and roll and R&B, and some of those formative experiences were listening to Dewey Phillips or Dewey Daddy-O Phillips, the DJ in Memphis that had a habit for picking up the needle off the record anytime he felt like it, just to listen to the part of the song that he liked again and again. And I can't help but think that has an influence on somebody to pay attention to the details, to notice those amazing little nuggets. And it's unabashed, and it's bombastic, and it's not how you would describe my father's personality, who's largely shy and quite reserved, but at the same time, he is a man who is really defined by these contradictions, right? He's shy, yet he's a wonderful performer who can hold an audience spellbound. When he was a young child, his mother would ask him to sing for friends or family, and he was just far too shy, so the only way he could muster the courage to do it was to get under the chairs in the kitchen and sing from under there. And so Sous la Chaise became, I think, a record label at some point, or the name of his production company. So, but as I said, he was a good student. He was a good boy. He studied Latin. He loved languages. When he went to college, he studied German and did a semester abroad. And I'm sure he was this exotic American cowboy to a lot of those German folks, but he brought his guitar with him and played in clubs, and those were some of his first professional gigging experiences. And then when he came back to Canada, when he came back to the States and graduated college, he got his draft notice. And I think you know how the next part of the story goes. For most of you, he likely tore up that draft card and moved to Canada. And if you don't know, he didn't know much about Canada. The story goes that he looked the country up in an encyclopedia, and because of his love of languages, he settled on Montreal because apparently they speak French here, and that was a reason enough for him. So he, in a gut-wrenching decision, he leaves his family behind. He's got $300 and a guitar, and he flies over, and on this plane ride to Canada is where he changes his name from James, or Jimmy, as his mother would have called him, to Jesse. And so a new country and a new life. He lands in the airport, and the customs agent asks him how long he intends to stay. And his answer apparently was forever. And my dad was a smart guy. He knew that if he wanted to find some sympathetic people, that he should head to the university. And so he goes downtown to Montreal, to McGill, and he winds up getting a couch to crash on for the next 2 weeks within an hour. And I said, "How did you do that?" And he says, "Well, I just found the first 2 guys with beards," right? So just a quick note on what it's like to play my father's songs. As somebody who's both a child and somewhat of an artist myself, I'm not really trying to reinterpret these songs very much. They played, in my ear endlessly, and a lot of his rhythms and his inflections are ingrained in me, and so I think you'll get a little bit more of an imitation tonight than you will a cover. But I think he would approve because generally he liked his own versions of songs best anyway.